Hi everybody, this is the Professor. Today I'm here with the Everything Goat.
Hello.
And we're going to show you how to do a Travelpro Crew 3 luggage wheel repair. Let's get started. For today's repair, we're going to use one small Phillips head screwdriver and one flathead screwdriver. We also have a 24mm by 72mm wheel repair kit, and for this we'll show you the link below where we got this. Look at all that great stuff, except that's the old busted wheel. That's the old busted wheel. When we're all done, the new shiny wheel is going to look just like this. Amazing. Let's get started. Okay, today we're going to be repairing this Travelpro Crew 3 luggage set. I've already replaced this one wheel that had the rubber completely separated from the whole entire wheel, and I was drawing a lot of attention to myself last time I went through the airport. Put on this brand new shiny wheel, so I know that the repair works. This one, now we're going to take off this other old wheel so that we have a matching set of new wheels. And here's the new wheel right here that we'll put on after we remove the old wheel. We also have a bunch of other parts that come in the repair kit as well. You want to show them those ones? So these are a bunch of parts that came in there. I already measured these parts, and these parts aren't really going to fit this style. This is an older style, it's about 20 years old, but it still works really great, so we really don't want to lose this piece of luggage. So I'll show you how to reuse most of the pieces that we have inside of there. In fact, the only piece that we will be replacing is the wheel and the built-in bearing assembly for it itself. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll get started with this. Okay, so start off by using your small Phillips head screwdriver. We'll go ahead and we'll loosen these screws that are on the wheel assembly here. So you have this plastic piece, this plastic molding that comes around the wheel. We'll just remove this one here, and that will come off. We'll set that one aside. And these, I noticed on the other one, these are two different lengths, so we want to keep the lengths separated. So that way we put them back in the same spot.
Make sure to not drop any of the parts on the ground.
Yep, that's true. Don't want to lose any of them. Don't want to not have enough pieces.
Because you might step on the old rusty nail, and that'll not be good for your foot or you.
Yep, and we don't want to have to go get a tetanus shot.
Yes.
Especially tonight. Okay, so after I remove those two pieces, probably the nuts will fall down inside of there, but that's okay. We'll steer all the nuts down into the corner, and then we'll remove them from the inside of the suitcase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over here, try to keep all the parts down in that corner. So you'll notice that the liners here, that we have no way of reaching the parts inside other than to go through the hole that's right here where the straps come through the liner. So if you reach down inside, you'll feel that on the back side there's actually two Phillips head screws right there, and they have some pretty big washers around them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and probably speed up the video here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide my screwdriver inside of there, get inside the Phillips head screw, back the screw out, and then collect all the parts out of the inside. We're going to look for a set of washers, the two screws, and then there'll be two hex cap nuts that we're going to collect as well. So I'll show you what they look like after we're done. So I'll go ahead and I'll get started with this. Hopefully it's something that we can speed up. It doesn't take too long. Okay, now that we're done removing the wheel assembly right here, here we have our wheel assembly. Let me show you what the different parts look like that we pulled out of there. So for the long screw that comes out of the back side, there's one of the captive hex nuts right here that is going to go back on the end when we're done. So let's go ahead and we'll just attach that to there. We'll set that aside and make sure that that one goes on the top side. And then here's the other nut right here for the smaller screw. That one we'll set aside. That one will go on the side. And then there's also a set of washers that we found for these other plastic screws. So this one here is just a metal washer and then a plastic washer. And then this one here has 2 metal washers and a plastic washer. So I'm just going to look around inside here. But notice once we took this off that the whole entire corner is missing on the end of the suitcase. You can kind of reach around in there. I was able to pull out the rest of these parts from in there so that way I didn't have to fish them out through the hole right here. So give me a second. I'll take a look around in there for the rest of the parts and then we'll get started taking apart this piece right here to remove the wheel.
It's a lot more easier to remove this than to dig through the and get the rest of the parts, because then the parts just fall immediately out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Alright, so let me just dig around in here for the rest of the parts. Okay, so now we gotta get the old wheel off the assembly and install the new wheel. So to do that, it's pretty easy. We're gonna use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove this little retaining bolt on this plastic clip right here. Now there's a little washer in there, so we want to make sure we don't lose that little washer. I'll move this little bit down the way here. This next part's a little bit tricky and a little bit of a difficult time getting this off the first time. Basically, we gotta pop off this little plastic retention piece in here. You might be able to use your fingernail to dig it up a little bit, and then slide the screwdriver underneath, and then it pops off just like that. And then we can use the blade of the flathead screwdriver to kind of slide underneath this little axle here.
And whenever you take off this part, do not use your teeth.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to use your teeth.
Because of all the germs.
Unless you want to make your dentist rich. Okay. So you pull out the little steel post that's holding in the wheel. So, that acts as the axle. So here you can see all the junk that's built up over the years. Tons of long hair. It's definitely not mine. I don't have any hair anymore like that. So this is the old wheel. You can see there's some parts that are falling apart. Maybe there's some bugs or something that are in there. That's kind of interesting. Alright. Well anyway, so we're going to just set aside this old wheel.
Your wheel has become a home.
Yeah, looks like it might have been a home to somebody. Alright, so we're going to take the new one. Just make sure we clean out the inside here really quick. Get all the dust and everything out. So now we take the new wheel. We're going to line it up with those holes right there.
Should we use a washcloth?
No, I don't think it's that necessary to have that clean. And then we're basically, once that's lined up, we're going to push it through all the way to the other side. You may have to wiggle a little bit to get it lined up on the other side, but it should come all the way back through.
And if it doesn't come through the other side, then it's coming through too long, then you might be using the wrong screw or too heavy long screw.
Yep, that's correct. So once we get that pushed all the way back in, now we're going to line this thing back up. It's got to line up correctly over the head of this thing right here. And the little clip has to line up into that piece right there. So once you get that all flush with the rest of the plastic bracket, you're going to take that little retention screw, put that in there, and your Phillips head screwdriver, and then you just tighten that back down. Okay, so that is the wheel replacement on this. So now all I have to do is just perform the reverse order to put this thing back onto the suitcase. So we're going to line it up onto the back of the suitcase here. Over this part right here. And then we're basically going to reach inside. We're going to put these 2 screws back in there first, and then we're going to flip it back over, and then we're going to put these 2 screws back in where they came from. And then we should be done. Alright, so this next part could take a while, so we'll try to see if we can speed up the video.
Yee.
Okay, now that we have the wheels back on, we're all set. We got the wheel retainer put back on with all the 4 screws put back in, the wheel's spinning freely. So all that's left to do is we'll just set it down on the floor and we'll give it a test drive. Okay, here we have the piece of luggage right here, fully repaired. And before we give it a little test drive, I just want to thank my helper here, the Everything Goat, for assisting me with the repair. Thank you very much. And also give a shout out to the Southwest crew, Southwest Airlines crew, who suggested that I perform this repair rather than getting a whole new piece of luggage. So as we give it a test drive here, we'll go ahead and we'll say goodbye.
Bye.